what is this team? So it's become pretty typical, I think, for Penny Hardaway teams to have those ebbs and flows in a season, right? Like major ebbs and flows. This team coming out of the non-conference schedule, people were like, oh, okay. Like we have something here.
Including us.
We said the same thing. What is this team? Are they...
That's like the question of the century.
Are they the Alabama Memphis Tigers? Or are they the Temple... ECU Memphis Tigers?
How I would answer that is, first of all, I got to see them back healthy with Malcolm Dandridge and Alex Lomax back on the floor. Then I can really give you a thought process on that. But right now, they are what they are through the conference portion of their schedule. They've been bad. Right.
Right now, they've been a mediocre AAC team. And that is not a compliment.
No, not at all.
But do they have potential to be an upper echelon AAC? Do they have potential to be number 2 AAC team? Absolutely. Like, we've seen it. We've seen them take Alabama to the wire. We've seen them beat Auburn. We've seen them beat A&M. We've seen them play well.
And some of these games, like Auburn's still holding up. A&M is getting good. I mean, they're 4-0 in conference, and they beat Mizzou. I mean, A&M looks better as they got to
Vandy got a big win the other night.
Yeah, Vandy's okay. I'm not saying
they're great.
But some of these wins are holding up fine in the out of conference, but they have to get back to what they were then. I think it's a different team. And to your point, Kenny, it is a different team.
Yeah,
it's a completely different team. So
how do we'll
see?
So what is it like? We can't use injuries as the reason why the Tigers look the way they look right now. And let's not forget, they're still winning more games than they're losing in the conference, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not
anything.
That's not good enough, right? For the level of fandom that Memphis Tiger fans have for this program, for the language that's used by people inside the program about this program, being a one game above 500 team in the AAC is not enough, right? Like, we can all agree on that. But what is it that they need to do?
Hit shots,
rebound better.
I think that is the biggest cure for this. And it's not that they're doing anything wrong in the department of getting open shots.
They get open looks.
They get a lot. So many complaints this year have been about the offense, and I feel like we hear this every year, but it's like, it's clunky, it doesn't work, yada, 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 whatever. We've heard them all 1,000 times. Everything looks good. When they need to ISO Kendrick, they ISO Kendrick. When they need to go down low to DeAndre, they do.
They're not turning the ball over.
They're not turning the ball
over
over like they typically do. When they kick it out for 3, they're getting looks from Keontae and Elijah and Jonathan.
They just don't drop.
They're just not falling.
They just don't drop.
They're just not falling. And I think that cures so much.
But at this point, can we even say, like, okay, hit shots is the end all be all? They haven't done it.
No, I'm not saying they have. I'm just saying
there hasn't been a game where I can point to and be like, oh, they were locked in from the 3-point line knocking down shots.
But it is
who they are.
It's a very interesting thought to think of what this team would look like if those shots were falling. Obviously, we're not in a world of hypotheticals, but I'm just saying, like, I think that cures a lot if they're making shots.
But I do think, Kenny, what I would say to you on the injury front, I think that is a big crutch because Alex Lomax and Malcolm Dandridge know what's expected of them. And if you get more synergy with some of these lineups, the defensive woes start to disappear. The rebounding woes start to disappear. Alex Lomax is a good rebounding guard. Malcolm Dandridge is probably their best rebounder when he's actually on the floor. I think if they get back healthy, having more synergy with the rotations with that Penny Hardaway wants to run out there, I think that cures a fair amount of what we're seeing too, at least on the defensive end. Now, again, knocking down shots would be a great thing to say, but they just have not done it.
Right. Because even that, like, going back to making shots and getting some of those open looks, this team has struggled in fast break. That's when we've seen kind of the breakdowns in communication defensively, when we see mess ups and switches and overhelping and overcorrecting mistakes in the press and the trap, and that most of that's coming off of fast break. So it is a big cure-all, but I'm with you. Like, you can't just say, oh, it's going to happen, they're going to start hitting shots and you're turning around.
And they've had their moments. Like, Elijah McCadden has had his moments. Keontae Kennedy has had his moments, but you need that to be more consistent. And DeMaria, we talked about it last week. I just don't think he fills a massive need that they have on the offensive end. He's not a good three-point shooter, never has been. And he's a guy who largely, and you can say this about Keontae and Elijah as well, and I get that, but he's largely a guy who needs the ball in his hands to go get off the dribble, but he's not going to get that opportunity. Kendrick Davis is on the floor for 37 minutes a game.
Right.
So he needs to get in where he fits in, but I don't know where he fits in on the offensive end right this second at least.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of things they need to work through, but overall, it's just a fragile situation they're in.